Hello everyone. In this lecture we will discuss a case study in which a multi-purpose office chair is redesigned in accordance to the principle of design for improvement discussed in previous lecture. A project on the redesign of an office chair was collaborated between Harman Miller Corporation and Studio 7.5. Harman Miller Corporation is a US-based office furniture manufacturer, and Studio 7.5 is a design firm based in Germany. Multipurpose chairs are generally used in conference room, temporary workstations, and collaborative space. Studio 7.5 found that chairs in office are uncomfortable and misadjusted. Most chairs are made with materials and processes that are harmful for human use as well as environment. A survey was conducted for the need of new and innovative multi-purpose chair. The basic customer needs are found out to be comfort level, design for environment, and a compelling price. Harman Miller and Studio 7.5 formed a combined DFE team to redesign existing office chair to resolve the issues related to environmental sustainability. This project and the product, that is redesign office chair, is named as Setu multipurpose chair. The Setu is a Hindi word commonly referred to a bridge. The objective of this project is to set new standard of simplicity, adaptability, and comfort in design of multi-purpose seating chair, which can also be environmentally friendly. Though this project existing chair design are transformed into new Setu multipurpose chair. Now we will be discussing the step used in redesign of office chair using design for environment approach. The sequential steps used in the design for environment is presented in this flow diagram. All these steps have been discussed in details in previous lecture. Let us start with first step, that is to set the design for environment agenda. The first step is to set the design for environment agenda. It comprises of three subsets, namely identify the internal and external driver of design for environment, set the DFE goals. Next subset is to set up the DFE team. The key drivers, that is the reason for driving the Setu chair project, are identified as market demand, innovation, and company commitment toward environmental sustainability. Next step is set the DFE goals. Companies set long-term environmental goals as zero hazard or the waste generation, landfill, harmful air emission, zero processed water use. All green energy use in the product design and development. All buildings must certified to meet the environmental efficiency standards. All sales from the product created with the DFE processes. Here it should be noted that the long-term goals are to eliminate zero or to eliminate the environmental impact associated with office chair. These long-term goals are set by company in year 1997, Harman Miller, and is targeted to be achieved by the year 2020. The company moves iteratively from short-term goals to accomplish long-term goals in a phased manner. Short-term goals is to reduce the level of environmental impact associated with office chair. Next step is to set up the DFE team. In 1997, a team was framed with experts from materials, chemistry, manufacturing and production, assembly, marketing, consultants, supplier recyclability, incoming and outgoing packages, energy use and uses, and waste generation. All the persons employed in these fields or expert in these fields are identified, and a team and a DFE team was formulated. In second step, the team members analyze the entire life cycle of product and anticipated key environmental impact. This image shows the key environmental impact that occur during the manufacturing to usage of an existing office chair. Key environmental impact are stacked in the form of bars for each stage of product life cycle. Higher is the height of the bar, maximum will be its impact on environment. It can be seen here that material selection and recovery or the disposable phase of office chair present maximum impact or threat to the environment. These are use of raw materials such as iron ore, aluminium or plastic leads to deforestation, degradation, emission and waste generation, and depletion of natural resources. The processing of these materials lead to waste generation, landfills due to incinerations, and the generation of air pollution and toxic gas due to incineration. In the recovery phase, so maximum effort in design for environment should be given to the material selection and recovery phase of a product life cycle. The key environmental impact of existing product design have been already identified and discussed in the previous slide. Now the DFE team proposed certain guidelines to the design team. The design team should implement these guidelines in the early stage of product design and development process. Some of the guidelines with respect to redesign of office chair are presented here. These are specific to the life cycle stage and the particular domain of the product or process. The suggestions regarding use of renewable and non-hazardous resource of material and energy dominates guidelines with respect to material extraction or selection phase. In production phase, much emphasis are given to minimize the manufacturing and assembly step. It is also recommended to use fewer components in the assembly, which are lighter as well. In the recovery phase, important DFE guidelines are related to disassembly, separation, and dismantling ease of the product. It should be noted that environmental effect during the distribution and usage of chair are insignificant, hence no specific DFE guidelines are provided on these phases. Next step is to apply DFE guidelines in the initial design of a product. One guideline is to specify lightweight materials and components. For this, the design team has to search for lightweight materials which can reduce material use and transportation impact. Also avoiding undersheet tilt mechanism and another complexities in existing product. The weight of the product can be reduced. This approach can reduce the weight of the chair by or up to 9 kg. The team should also consider ways for disassembly chair so that it would be easy to recycle after its useful life. They should place the joint or fasteners at easily accessible location. The Herman Miller team has used in inspiration from human backbone to manufacture spine geometry of the chair. This will improve the functionality and comfort level while using a chair. After optimizing the spine geometry, the team should look to find out materials that suited both the functional and environmental requirement as specified in the DFE goals. PVC is commonly used in furniture due to its low cost and high strength. However, both the production and disposal of PVC release toxic emissions. To avoid using materials that are toxic to humans and environment, safe materials such as polypropylene has been identified. The next step is to assess the environmental impact of the product over its entire life cycle. To do so, detailed information is required about raw material, source of energy, individual component material specification, waste, recycling method, and disposal means. The environmental impact of a product are normally assessed during using the life cycle assessment tool or software. In this Setu chair project, Herman Miller Company have used their own assessment tool. The tool considers 4 factors or module for each component in the product. They are material chemistry, recycled content, disassembly, and recyclability. Material chemistry module assess fraction of material by weight that are considered to be safe in terms of human toxicity and environmental concern. Recycled content module assess fraction of the materials by weight that can be recycled post-industrial or post-customer use. Disassembly module assess fraction of the materials by the weight that can be easily disassembled. And finally, recyclability module assess fraction of the materials by weight that can be recyclable. Now the design team is divided into 4 groups. Each group explore the ways to improve the environmental performance of product with respect to above mentioned design criteria. Next step is to refine the product design to reduce or eliminate the environmental impacts. The objective of this step is to reduce or eliminate the environmental effect through redesign. This is an iterative process which keeps on repeating until the environmental effect have been reduced to an acceptable level or the environmental performance of redesigned product satisfy the DFE goals. One of the challenge is redesign of office chair to find a method to co-mold the spine using 2 different polypropylene materials. These materials should be compatible enough so that recycling can be done so that the recycling can be performed without separating them. The inner and outer rails of the spine are made of polypropylene and glass composites. The connecting spokes are molded using a more flexible polypropylene and rubber composite. The use of aluminum base in uncoated and polished form avoid finishing labor and harmful toxins. Additionally, the aluminum base is durable and present less environmental impact than traditionally finished chair bases. Some trade-offs are always there in any design and development project. The most difficult trade-off in the development of Setu chair was related to Selection of material for the arms of the chair. PVC material, being toxic and hazardous, has to be avoided here. But the team was not able to mold the arms using polypropylene materials due to concern related to the material's durability and fatigue failure. The Setu arms are now molded from nylon and thermoplastic elastomers. However, these materials are not chemically compatible with each other, which will affect the chair overall recyclability. The next step is to reflect on the DFE process and its result. The outcome of Herman Miller DFE assessment tool are presented or calculated on a scale of 0 to 100% as presented in this table. The scores are provided for 4 DFE modules, which are material chemistry, recycled content, disassembly and recyclability. These modules assess the environmental performance of the product. The weight score for each module are assigned by mutual understanding between the DFE and product design team. The results are presented in this table suggest that in terms of disassembly and recycled and feasibility for recyclability, a good score is obtained for the redesigned chair. We are getting 23 out of 25 for recyclability and 28.6 out of 33.3 for disassembly. In terms of material chemistry and recycled content, an average score is obtained which indicates further improvement. We are getting 16.7, that is almost 50% score for material chemistry and 50% score for recycled content. This occurs due to use of non-compatible nylon materials in the manufacturing of arms of the chair. We can mold the Setu chair also using polypropylene material. This could have improved the recyclability and reduced the cost of the chair, but at the expense of durability and the safety of the chair. However, in future some new materials can be found which can resolve this issue as well. Many salient environmental and performance improvement in chair are attained by the use of design of environment. The Setu chair is made of 44% recycled materials by weight, comprising of 23% post-consumer and 21% post-industrial recycled content. Recyclability. The Setu is 92% recyclable by weight at the end of its useful life. Steel and aluminium components are 100% recyclable. Polypropylene components are recyclable when returned to the company in a good shape. Setu chair is manufactured on a production line that utilizes 100% green power, 50% of which came from wind turbine and 50% captured from landfill of gassing. Emission. No harmful air or water emission are released during the Setu chair manufacturing. Setu components are received by Herman Miller from suppliers in molded tote trays that are returned to the supplier for reuse. Hence, packaging which are used for Setu chair are returnable and recyclable. So far, we have discussed the basic approach used for performing design for environment exercise, and next we have applied this exercise on the redesign of a chair to make it environmental friendly. With this, I close the session on design for environment. Some questions are presented here. Give them a thought process. They will further enhance your understanding and skill with reference to concept and guidelines generally used to perform design for environment. In the next lecture, we will discuss prototyping essentials and techniques used in product design and development process.